Thank you all for joining us this morning. And I think during this all events that surrounds us in this very unique moment of time, discussing about Africa is really brings out to the surface, up to the surface, the added value of the INSS, that we are trying to think not just on the current events of what's happening beyond, just across our nose, and we are trying to expand the level of attention to the more crucial long-term threat and evolving trends that really affects global and regional geopolitics. So just quick opening remarks. We tend to see Iran in a very, very narrow perspective from the Israeli point of view, whether it's according to its threats, nuclear, regional, missile threats, and we are positive that it's all about Israel. So Iran is focused on Israel, and it's all about the greed in Israel, etc., which is, of course, true, but Iran is a much more complicated and different story. Iran considers itself as a legitimate global actor who has a long history that position itself as a global empire of the past that should retake its former glory, which was stripped because foreign malign Western intervention that stripped Iran from its capabilities and imposed on Iran a puppet doll of monarchy that was a collaborator of the West, and now it's a new era of Iran, reviving its global, its former glory, and retaking its leadership globally among Arabs and the Middle East and globally. And if you come to think of that perception, Iran divides the world in 4 quarters, which is relatively evidential. About a quarter of the states in the Indo-Pacific, quarter of the states are in Africa, another quarter of the states in America, and the rest is Europe and Northern America. So if you are leading the global South, expanding your capabilities and influence in the Indo-Pacific, in Africa, in Latin America, you are practically controlling the United Nations General Assembly, and you can promote whatever malign or whatever you want to do in order to degrade Israel and the West and the corrupt imperial West, and to retake your former position as the leader of the world, not the leader of just the Middle East. Second comment, Iran is now facing a crucial re-evaluating of its national security policy because of the 2 years war. A part of according to the best of my knowledge about Iranians, they never give up. I've never seen them respond to external pressure by laying low, giving it up, and trying to evolve new ideas. No, they're constantly reinventing themselves and reshaping the former pillars of their national security. So if those former pillars was, 1, nuclear, they will find a way, a pathway towards independence in terms of nuclear capabilities as a measure of deterrence. Second, proxy network and expanding the expansion of their presence globally. I think they will reinvent themselves in that aspect. And in that context, Africa is crucial. Africa used to be in the early 2011, 2012, the main channel of supporting Gaza by transferring arms went through Africa. It's not a new trend. Africa is the back way to get to Gaza, to get to Israel, to the Sinai Peninsula. Africa is important because of its presence in the National Assembly. 50 states are important. And the fact that there are lots of Shiites, there is huge collision internally. That's and involvement by the Russians, withdrawal by the Europeans. It's a pot that is constantly on a collision and evolving, and that's the ground where Iranians are best on exploding. Secondly, Africa is the global south, really. And if you are pretending to be the leader of the global south and you are facing eastward, like they said in the change in of the national security policy, Africa is important. And third, they will reconstruct their missile and other capabilities. And for that reason, you need to export oil, and you need to circumvent sanctions, and Africa and Global South and the Indo-Pacific are the perfect measures of circumventing all of the above. So, to sum my statement, Iran is considering itself as a global actor, not a regional one, focused on Israel. And the leader of the Global South, and in that aspect, Latin America, Africa, and the Indo-Pacific are the future main focus. Secondly, Africa is important for the fact that it can help reconstruct all the main pillars of Iran national security policies that were weakened during the 2 years war. I hope it will be fruitful and that we will learn a lot, and I hope the translation will work, because otherwise I can break my teeth in a very dramatic manner. So I thank you very much and good luck. Thank you.